Today we're taking a look at these MLB matches, which are happening on Saturday, June 17, 2023, and giving you our team and total picks for today. Welcome back to High Stakes. Before we dive into our video, don't forget to subscribe and to push the notification bell so you don't miss any of our videos. Also check out our Patreon if you want access to our premium picks. Our Patreon is a way for us to help you improve your chances of making more money. You will find the link to our Patreon in the description and comments section below. Detroit Tigers vs Minnesota Twins. The Detroit Tigers have been one of the worst hitting teams in baseball this season, ranking 29th in OPS, .663, and 30th in runs scored, 3.72 per game. They need to make more contact, as they are 12th in MLB with 611 strikeouts. Spencer Torkelson has been a bright spot, hitting .333/.448/.667 with 2 homers, 6 RBI, and 6 runs scored in his last 6 games. Joey Wentz has been struggling on the mound, going 1-6 with a 7.23 ERA and 1.68 WHIP in 56 innings. He has allowed 12 home runs and a .302 batting average against him. In his last start against the Arizona Diamondbacks, he did not factor into the decision after giving up 2 runs on 1 hit with 2 walks and 4 strikeouts in 4.1 innings. The Minnesota Twins have been a fairly average hitting team this season, ranking 18th in OPS, .716, and 19th in runs scored, 4.39 per game. However, designated hitter Byron Buxton has been struggling at the plate lately, hitting just .077/.143/.077 with a 110 walk-to-strikeout ratio in his last 7 games. Joey Wentz has been struggling in June, going 0-1 with a 7.00 ERA. He is unlikely to pitch well in this game, as he is continuing to struggle. The Twins have a better pitching staff than the Tigers, as evidenced by their team ERAs in the last 15 days. The Twins are 12th with a 3.94 ERA, while the Tigers are 25th with a 5.18 ERA. The Twins are the better team overall and should be able to control this game. I recommend taking the Twins with the run line. The left-handed pitcher Joey Wentz will start for the visiting team in the second game of the series. He has not pitched 5 full innings since May 8th. In his last start, he held the Arizona Diamondbacks to 1 hit and 2 runs in 4.1 innings. Wentz has a 2-to-1 strikeout-to-walk ratio in 2023, and he has allowed 2 runs, 0 earned, in 2 appearances against the Minnesota Twins. He has given up 3 hits and 4 walks, striking out 8 Twins in 8.2 combined innings. The Minnesota Twins are planning to use a spot starter on Saturday afternoon. The team is currently in the midst of a stretch of 16 games in 16 days, and they will need to give their starting pitchers an extra day of rest. The 2 most likely pitchers to be called up are Hedrick, 3-1 with a 4.23 ERA in 6 starts at AAA St. Paul, and Woods Richardson, 0-5 with an 8.08 ERA in his 10 starts. These teams have been struggling to produce runs as of late, as the Tigers are scoring 3.46 runs in their last 13 games while the Twins are averaging 3.33 runs in their previous 12 games. Throughout the season, these bullpens have been doing pretty well, as Detroit is 14th with a 3.96 reliever ERA while Minnesota is currently 6th in MLB with a 3.62 bullpen ERA so far. The under is 5-1-1 in their last 7 games against one another, so go with the under here as well. Baltimore Orioles vs Chicago Cubs. Kyle Gibson will start for the Orioles in this game. He pitched well in his last start, allowing 3 runs on 7 hits in 6.1 innings against the Royals. The veteran right-hander has been giving the Orioles solid innings, and he has only allowed 1 home run in his last 6 starts. He has a 3.90 ERA and a 1.30 WHIP in 83 innings this season. However, he has struggled against the Cubs in his career, allowing 12 runs in 14.1 innings with an 0-3 record. The Orioles are on a roll. They have won 6 of their last 8 games, including a sweep of the Royals and 2 wins in 3 games against the Blue Jays. They have scored 16 runs against a good Toronto pitching staff in those games. The Orioles are 6-4 in their last 10 games and are 5 games behind the Rays in the AL East. Justin Steele will return from the injured list on Saturday afternoon. He last pitched in late May against the Tampa Bay Rays, tossing 3 shutout innings before exiting with a minor arm injury. The Cubs starting pitcher is having an outstanding season, with a 2.65 ERA and a 1.06 whip in 68 innings pitched. He allowed 4 runs, 3 earned, in 6 innings against the Orioles last season in his only career meeting. The Cubs have been struggling to win games consistently, but they have played better recently. They won 2 of 3 road games against the San Francisco Giants last weekend and swept the Pittsburgh Pirates before this series. They are now 3 games above .500 at home and have won 6 of their last 10 games. The Baltimore Orioles are on a road trip, where they have won only 2 of their last 6 games. The Chicago Cubs are in good form, with a 6-1 record in their last 7 games. They have won back-to-back home series, including a sweep of the Pittsburgh Pirates. Orioles starter Kyle Gibson has a 3.90 ERA, but his expected ERA, xERA, is 4.82. This suggests that he has been lucky so far this season, and that his ERA is likely to regress to the mean. Gibson has also struggled against the Cubs, with a 0-3 record and a 12.00 ERA in 14.2 innings. Cubs starter Justin Steele is back after a brief stint on the injured list. He has been very good this season, with a 2.65 ERA and a 1.06 whip. Steele is especially tough to beat at Wrigley Field, where he has a 2.43 ERA and a 4-1 record. Based on the current form of these 2 teams, and the matchups between the starting pitchers, the Cubs are the favorites to win this game. Gunnar Henderson, a top prospect for the Orioles, has been on a tear at the plate. He has accumulated 9 RBIs in his last 6 games, and now has 10 home runs and 26 RBIs on the season. The 21-year-old third baseman has a .792 OPS. The Orioles are dealing with injuries, as Mullins and Mountcastle remain out. However, Henderson has been a bright spot for the team. Baltimore is averaging 4.99 runs per game, which ranks them 6th in the league. The pitching staff has a 4.13 team ERA, which ranks them 12th. Seiya Suzuki, a 28-year-old slugger for the Chicago Cubs, has been in a slump at the plate in recent weeks. He has recorded only 3 RBIs and a .600 OPS in June. Suzuki is one of the Cubs' best hitters, and he has a season OPS of .822. He went 2 for 8 with no RBIs against the Orioles last season, and he went 1 for 5 on Friday. The Cubs are heating up at the plate, averaging 4.49 runs per game this season. They rank 16th in the league in runs scored. The Cubs pitching staff has a 4.17 team ERA, which ranks them 14th in the league. Our total pick is over. Miami Marlins vs. Washington Nationals. The Miami Marlins are currently in a wild card spot in the National League. The Marlins have been a decent offensive team this season, slashing .256/.318/.397, which ranks 10th, 19th, and 19th in the majors, respectively. On the road, the Marlins have slashed .245/.312/.400, and in the month of June, they have slashed .242/.313/.400. Against right-handed pitchers, Miami has slashed .244/.310/.382. No Miami hitter has faced Jake Irvin, who will be starting for the Chicago Cubs on Saturday. Jake Irvin, who is 1-3 with a 5.81 ERA, will start for the Washington Nationals on Saturday. In his last start, Irvin allowed 4 runs on 5 hits in 4 innings against the Diamondbacks. He has lost all 5 of his starts in June, and his ERA in those starts is 8.41. At home this season, Irvin is 0-2 with a 7.32 ERA. The Nationals' pitching staff has a team ERA of 4.61, which ranks 25th in the league. Miami is the clear favorite in this game, and the odds reflect that. The Marlins have been hitting the ball well this season, and Irvin has struggled mightily. Miami is 2-4 as a road favorite, but this is a good matchup for their offense. Garrett has been solid as of late, and he should be able to limit Washington's offense. Washington is 10-21 as a home underdog this season, and they have lost Irvin's last 5 starts. I would take Miami at -175. I think the over is the play in this game. Both teams have been hitting the ball well this season, and the starting pitchers are both susceptible to giving up runs. Irvin has allowed 4.4 runs per start in his last 5 outings, and Garrett has allowed 1.4 runs per start. The Marlins' bullpen is a bit of a concern, but I think both offenses will be able to score enough runs to push the game over the total. I would take the over 9 runs.